It's Karate Mask. In this topic, I'll talk about earth shrinking method of movement in the Niko style fighting style of Ohma Tikita of Kengan Ashura and combination of the method of movement with karate. Have you watched Kengan Ashura, which is now on Netflix? The martial arts Niko style used by the main character of this anime, Ohma Tikita, is very powerful and he has defeated many rivals. The Niko style actually has a number of points in common with karate, including a technique that is also commonly used by current karate players in their daily competitions. It's a technique of movement called earth shrinking that Ohma Tikita used in the competition finals. In Japan, it's called Shukuchi. There are various ways of Shukuchi depending on the situation and style. But this time, I will focus on karate. Now, if you like karate, did you notice anything when you saw this technique? We often see this technique in karate match too. Its typical attack method is Jodan Gyakuzuki, using this moving method. This technique is for intermediate level and above, and has a high level of difficulty. And if we want to win a committed match, this technique is a must. This time, the explanation is detailed, so be sure to review the video many times to practice. That is how valuable this technique is. It's a skill common to all martial arts in addition to karate, so do your best to learn it. Later in this video, I'll also show you how to practice in everyday life, so please watch to the end. If you learn this practice method, you understand the important essential needed for these techniques. Before starting lesson, this channel will be a video to support people who want to start karate or are beginners in karate. I'll pull out video to show karate tips and training methods for beginners. And please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it, because this video has the advantage that you will be able to practice and improve efficiently. Then let's get it started. First of all, the advantage of this technique and disadvantage that I must tell everyone about. The advantage is no motion. It allows the attacker to attack without any preliminary movement so that the attacker is not noticed. This technique is quite a big advantage for players who fight 0.1 seconds. Disadvantage. This is a very sad disadvantage for me, and the video does not convey the dynamics of this technique. If I had to explain it in words, the technique can instantly move the distance between you and your opponent closer. Before you know it, your fist is already in front of your opponent. Sophisticated technique that eliminates waste. It's unfortunate that the excitement of this technique cannot be conveyed without actually experiencing. But I did my best to edit the video to better convey that to everyone. What is Shukuchi? As I mentioned earlier, Shukuchi is a technique of rapidly shrinking the distance from an opponent from no motion. This is how it's explained in the Kengan Ashura. The essence lies in standing on your bones without relying on your muscle. For this footwork, the user relies on shifting their center of gravity to move. Its intervals are clearly different from normal footwork. The opponent succumbs to the illusion that the gap between them has suddenly changed. Let's go through these 3 points step by step. Step 1. For this footwork, the user relies on shifting their center of gravity to move. Its intervals are clearly different from normal footwork. There are several secrets to this movement, one of which is to relax and the knee of the lower body. A simple summary is to use knee relief to tilt and move the center of gravity. When a human being is about to fall, our reflex is proud feet forward in order to avoid injury. Let's practice using this body reflex. If knee of the front leg is not relaxed at this time, it will not move smoothly. Let's relax the knees. The trick is to slowly relax your knees and move your upper body forward. Go slowly at first to avoid injury. Step 2. The essence lies in standing on your bones without relying on your muscle. What does it mean to stand on the bone? To summarize, it means to build an axis in the core with the minimum necessary muscle. The body weight exercise introduced in step 1 is difficult to move forward all at once if you continue like this. By laying and creating a core in the middle of the body, the ground and body are prepared to move forward. Step 3. The opponent succumbs to the illusion that gap between them has suddenly changed. Now, combine the previous step 1 and step 2. Relax your knees. Lay forward in that position. Your feet naturally come forward so that you don't fall down at the moment of coming forward. Make the axis of your body. Shorten the distance from the opponent at once. Caution. Kicking the ground with the back foot creates the preliminary movement. Keeps the center of gravity of the front foot. The important points. You probably speed up your movements to cross distance quickly. But the important thing is to move forward moving feeling noticed by your opponents. It may be a little complicated, but no motion is a technique to make the opponent unaware of the preliminary movements of your technique. In other words, if the opponent does not notice, even if the movement is slow, the opponent will feel it first. Sometimes, slower is faster movement exists. Then, when the body has become accustomed to this movement, all the previous movements are performed simultaneously. In this way, unnecessary preliminary movements are eliminated and the no motion movement is completed. 0 to 30%, 0 to 6%, 0 to 80%, and gradually increase the pace to 100% at the end to eliminate unnecessary movements. It's recommended to practice with high frequency as this movement requires a long period of time for the body to memorize it. This is the explanation of Shukuchi. Next, let's apply this move to karate. The karate techniques I will be using is Jodan Gyaksuki. There are two typical types of Jodan Gyaksuki in the WKF. One of them is Gyaksuki with Shukuchi. At that time, it was called high-speed Jodan-tsuki between us, so now I explain the tsuki. The sequence is the same, but you only need to add the Gyakutsuki to the action of axing the body at the moment of moving forward, as explained in point 4. It's very difficult to understand it just by watching it once. So watch it again and again. Relax your knees. Bring your body forward in that position. You will naturally move forward so that you don't fall down. Make the axis of the body at the moment of going forward. Further extend the axis and link it with the arms. The trick is to lean on the partner, and if you can push the partner without using arm strength, it's evidence that the axis of the body working with the arms. Conversely, a person with arm strength does not have a completely body axis. shorten the distance between you and your opponent at once. About the image of doing a gyaksuki. Just as a gyaksuki, if you're reaching out your hand in the action of axing your body at the moment of going forth in flow. At this time, rather than punching, imagine that you're touching the other person's face, so that your punch will go unnoticed. It may look like the punch is not powerful enough, but if you can create an axis from your power to your fist, the punch will be powerful enough. If you want to know more about this tsuki, please refer to the other video that describes this high-speed Kengan gyaksuki in detail. How was it? This technique is not easy to learn and requires patience, but it's techniques that is useful not only in karate but in many other sports as well. So I strongly recommend it practicing it. I've tried to keep the explanation to a minimum this time. So if you have any question, please comment. It's natural that everyone cannot do it at first. The key is the ability to continue. If you can do this, you will quickly approach the level of black belt. If you think this video is good, please leave a like or comment. It will encourage me. See you in the next video. Bye bye.